Hey y'all, how are you? I think I'm backwards, but that's okay. And my webcam is over here, so I'm going to be looking all weird. I'm going to give it a few minutes and see if some people show up. Hello. Share it one more place. All right. I think we're good now. All right. So, today's coffee chat. It's been a while since I did a live coffee chat on YouTube. It's been a couple of weeks, a few weeks maybe. It's been a little bit. Um, I'm excited. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do the little pour the coffee with the stirring, the intro video for this, but next time I do a coffee chat that's edited, I will make sure to do that. Somebody requested that. I thought that was cute. Um, so today I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind a little bit about creative truth, finding your creative truth or your creative truths. And I found a quote. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes to see if some more people show up because I guess I could do a thing on Instagram maybe. Um, let's see. Pictures. All right. Um, I'm live on YouTube. Link and bio. All right. I think that takes care of all of it. All right. Good. Yay. Hello. Have you heard if there's a theme? No, they usually do it more towards the end of the month. Romney just commented on my YouTube video about preparing for One Book July, and she's like, "You don't even know what the challenge is yet for the new one." So yeah. So now that I have some people in here, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to read a quote. Um, and it's by Henry Miller. And this is kind of where what I've been striving for, I think, over the past few months, getting off of autopilot, getting back into the swing of things. So Henry Miller says, every day we slaughter our finest impulses. That is why we get a heartache when we read the lines written by the hand of a master and recognize them as our own, as the tender shoots which we stifled because we lacked the faith to believe in our own powers, our own criterion of truth and beauty. Every man or woman, when he or she gets quiet, when he or she becomes desperately honest with himself or herself, is capable of uttering profound truths. Oh, I think our creative truth is sometimes stifled underneath all the stuff. How many times have you felt that having a creative practice or a creative hobby, or taking time for said creative practice or creative hobby, is being self-indulgent, being selfish, or a waste of time? I have been guilty of all of that. Um, how many times have you felt like the learning curve for whatever it is you're doing, whether you're learning to sing or to write or to play a musical instrument or to sew or to draw or to paint or anything? Um, learn to, yep, like playing the guitar. My husband tried to teach me a few notes, and I was like, oh, my fingers. It's like, look, that's your thing. He's like, well, I can't draw a good stick figure, and I can't write. But sometimes I think we feel like that learning curve is so high, so big, so insurmountable, um, that either we don't have talent for it, we lack the time to learn. Um, so maybe we try. So maybe we're going to try. And maybe we invest in a class or some books or something. And we try a little bit harder, and we actually invest a little bit of time in it. But because you don't pick it up like that, um, maybe you face some obstacles with it, because there is a learning curve with a lot of that. It's a lot of creative endeavors. You've bought supplies, bought a guitar, you bought some art supplies, you bought a sewing machine, you bought Scrivener, you bought some how-to write books. But if you don't practice, or you do practice, but maybe you're not practicing as much or whatever, maybe you get overwhelmed by this or by that, and then you just stop when you give up, or you procrastinate, or you don't make time to practice. You think, well, I'm just not talented with that. Or maybe the people in your life are not encouraging. Maybe they're actually discouraging. And then you feel like, well, I'm just not creative. I think a lot of people assume that creativity is this elusive, magical talent that only a few select people actually have. That we're born creative or we're not. But creativity, I mean, we all have the capability to be creative. When we are choosing what we want for breakfast, when we're choosing the clothes we're going to wear, when we choose whether we're going to wear these shoes with those pants, when we choose what flowers we're going to plant in front of our porch. For me, I should have chosen all miniature roses because we have a kind of small porch. And some of my roses have gotten really tall and I keep having to trim them. Now, had I planted all miniature roses, I wouldn't have had to do that. There would have been no obstruction from the view of the bench on my porch when you look out. Nor would roses have climbed so far, like around my porch, the one that I have to constantly trim so that we don't get hurt by the thorns. I think sometimes creativity can be a bit problematic for some of us because we don't even realize that true creativity is so much bigger than like art or music or DIY projects. I wrote something down. Creativity is actually problem solving. So, like I said, it's choosing what to wear, it's choosing recipes, it's choosing what to put in a recipe. So, let's say you have a recipe that calls for walnuts and you really don't care for walnuts and you instead choose pecans or pecans. Um, that's being creative. Um, I think we get to a point sometimes when we're creative that we have to course correct sometimes because we end up on autopilot with our creativity. And autopilot doesn't really, we're not being present, we're not being mindful. Um, and I am guilty of that too. So, do I have anybody talking other than in the very beginning? Make sure. I have a few people, so we're good. Okay. Um, Getting off of autopilot, course correcting, finding my creative truth. Ooh, uh, it's changed my creative energy, but it was also a bit of a difficult thing to look at, to really see. And in order to see, I had to actually realize I was doing stuff that I wasn't all that happy about. Some things I was actually a little bit ashamed of that I felt a bit guilty about. Um, it hasn't been easy looking at my creative truths. It's been quite difficult at times because I had to face some difficult truths. I talked about that already a little bit about the FOMO and the falling down the rabbit hole, stuff like that. Um, some of those truths actually made me a bit salty. Actually, probably made me like a lot salty. Um, the difference in how I feel though now versus how I was feeling when I was kind of before I even realized I was falling down the rabbit hole was miserable. For a while, it was an autopilot because of a lot of different things. Anxiety was a big, big thing. Depression was a big thing. Grief. Um, about a little bit over about 6 weeks ago, I got back on medicine for anxiety and depression. And once it really started to kick in, I started to get less anxious and I started to see some of those truths. And now I'm following more of my intuition and less of the anxiety that tells me, hey, so and so's doing this, so and so's doing that. Look at that book, look at that notebook, look at that paper, look at that pen, look at those art supplies. Well, look at those markers, look at that computer, look at that camera, look at that makeup. Look at those stickers. Um, just all different kinds of things, the shiny, the pretty, the fancy. Um, but no matter what you buy, whether it's clothes or planners or journals or traveler's notebooks or folios or watercolors or anything, if you are buying things to make you happy and you're not already happy, none of those things are going to make you happy. None of those things, none of those things are going to make you happy. Um, it was really upsetting to me that I had to get back on medicine. I had been off medicine for about a decade, but there was so much that happened and it was so traumatic. Um, I found myself being a follower, being a sheep. In a world full of fish, I was a fish instead of a shark. Now, in a world full of fish, I'm a shark. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, a shark is a fish. But out of all those different fish that are in the ocean, and this, what fish would you choose to be? No, I don't know. I kind of like Nemo and Dory. I think they're cute as all. But if I were going to be a fish in an ocean full of fish, I'd be that shark from Shark Tales. I can't think of his name right now. So, worrying about what other people thought, trying to fit in, trying to follow trends. Uh, I have finally, like when it all sort of hit me, once I slowed down and was more mindful, and the anxiety was under better control. It's still there. So my feet are fidgeting now because I have anxiety. No amount of medicine is going to immediately fix that. Even 6 weeks down the road, once it's in my system, it's not going to get rid of my anxiety altogether. And this is a topic that I was a bit nervous about talking about, especially live. But I think it's important. I did a video for my patrons and put it up earlier today that goes into a lot of this. Um, Seeing things for what they are instead of what I imagined them to be when I was on autopilot and I thought everything was all hunky dory. Oh my gosh, in my opinion, that all the rest of it was way too much. I think it's flamboyant, provocative. Maybe take a napkin and wipe it off. Look like, oh, well, thank you, but my husband loves it. So you're welcome to your opinion. Um, I think that there are times, it's funny. I'm going to talk about that for a minute. I'm going to address that issue for a minute. When I was in my 20s and my 30s, and the first few years of my 40s, I didn't wear red lipstick. My grandmother wore it my whole life. Hey, Cody. Thanks, Persephone. I never wore red lipstick. My grandmother wore red lipstick my whole life. She also wore Chanel No. 5. Her shoes, her handbag, and her hats all were coordinated. They may not have matched like completely, but they were coordinated with her outfit. My grandmother never went out in public without makeup on and her hair done and looking friggin' awesome. My mama she was something else. And I was never confident enough to wear red lipstick. And then I married David, and I had worn red lipstick a little bit, like when I finally left the relationship I was in that was not a healthy one. And I found myself and I knew what I didn't want. And I started, instead of dressing so conservatively, because I'd worked for bank and finance and stuff. So I was always dressed more conservatively. When I went back to college and stuff, and I started dressing more for me. And most of the time, you'd find me in a top like this, or a t-shirt top or something, and jeans or capris and flip-flops or sandals or Converse. That's still pretty much what you find me in now after I left. And I was bartending for a while, so I wore a lot of t-shirts and jeans and tennis shoes. It took me until I was in my 40s before I would wear red lipstick. Before I felt confident enough to dress a little, what I would think of as a little bit sexy. But sexy is as sexy does. And I think you could put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and a pair of Converse and put your hair in a ponytail and be sexy. I think that it is much more of a personal preference. Now, there are people who are very much a nude lipstick person. Oftentimes, when I don't wear red lipstick, I'm wearing Burt's Bees, the chapstick kind of stuff, or whatever you call it, and it has like a little bit of color to it, just because my lips are super pale. They're not, and they're little. My top lip is little, so I wear some Burt's Bees with a little bit of color in it, and that's what I wear sometimes when I'm going to be like with Victor or something, but I like the red lipstick. I don't need to read the Bible. I'm pagan, but thank you. I've read the Bible. Um, Anyway, I think I find it really, um, as somebody who believes in God, but is pagan, I find it really harsh for anybody to throw their beliefs at other people. It's like with the red lipstick, you know? No, somebody else deleted her. She was timed out. Um, so I'm just gonna hide her completely. But I think it brings up a very good I think it brings up a very good point. In a world full of all different kinds of people, in a world full of all different kinds of people, for someone to say that I look like a prostitute because I have on red lipstick is exactly, Cody. Um, no, I don't think I don't know. If you read the New Testament, Jesus hung out with the harlots and the lepers. I think he'd do just fine with my red lipstick. Um, I think we get so caught up sometimes in what other people are doing and what other people are wearing. If we are happy in our own lives, if we are happy with what we are doing, no matter what somebody else is doing or no what somebody else is wearing or how somebody else is or does or talks or believes or anything else, then we don't have to worry about any of that, you know? Um, I think we get so caught up sometimes and I'm gonna say it, in the FOMO, it's afraid, we do. Um, and that's where I was at when I was falling head over, just tumbling down that rabbit hole of what everybody else was doing and trying to improve the channel because of what a whole bunch of other people were saying in these videos that say you need to do this or you need to do that for your channel to grow on YouTube, or you need to. And I was so feeling like I finally just took a break altogether. Yes, opinions are rampant, especially when peeps need to say it out loud without being asked for their opinion. I mean, it's a free country here. We got freedom of speech, but I was taught you get a lot more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. And I was also taught if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I often don't say anything at all because what I want to say is not nice. And I firmly believe in getting a lot more bees with honey. So until I can be nice, I don't say much. Or I think about why I'm feeling salty. Am I feeling salty because I'm hungry and hangry? You know, am I feeling salty because I feel defensive because somebody's made a comment? If you're secure in yourself, the way others do things, dress, style, whatever, won't matter. Exactly. Am I feeling insecure? And that's why whatever somebody said or done or whatever has made me feel that way because I'm insecure about it. I was going through so much when I was grieving and the depression and the anxiety, and it was so horrible that I felt, I don't know, I felt like a robot. I mean, I was doing things because I needed to, because I had to. I was being creative because for my sanity, I had to be, but I wasn't doing as much of what I loved. I wasn't doing as much of what I really wanted. Uh, I wasn't, I lost my way. It's plain and simple. I lost my way. Um, exactly. I share doesn't mean I will do what I saw that I thought was me. That's something that I found out was most people's venom at others reflects more about them than the person they pointed it at. Yeah. But you're going to get that. I've noticed every time I do a live, at least there's going to be at least one troll. There's going to be at least one person who goes out of their way to be nasty. And, that's on them. I try my best to react out of kindness, because normally what that tells me is that they're very unhappy, and I don't I don't need to add to their unhappiness. I just don't have to, not my, I guess, as people have often said, it's not my hula hoop. You don't need to be in mine. I don't need to be in yours. Um, but I'm I'm fine with just hiding their comments because, you know, I don't know. But I think her comment about the red lipstick, yeah, happy people don't go. I have so much to do right now. I need to finish doing the dishes. I need to fold the clothes that finished in the dryer. I need to finish doing some of my journaling. I need to finish reading my book. I need, I need to dust the furniture, and I need to vacuum the living room. There are a few things left on my list for today that I actually need to get to, and some from yesterday that I don't. Do you really think I'm going to go on YouTube or anywhere for that matter and go trolling people? Yeah, clearly, I mean, that's like, I've never even thought about doing that. Never even thought about doing that. I think I can count on one hand the times I've actually thumbs down a video, and it's not all fingers on YouTube. And I think there have been 2 times when I've thumbs down a video, 2 times. And I told them why in the video. Um, and that's been in the whole time I've been on YouTube. Like, I've been watching YouTube, not just that I've been doing videos on YouTube, but the whole time I've been watching videos. And it was constructive criticism. It wasn't to be mean, but what people don't realize is whether you give a thumbs up or whether you give a thumbs down, it's interactive stuff on your video, and that helps your analytics. So it doesn't matter whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it helps your analytics. So anyway, what I've been thinking about is doing more of what I love. Doing more of things I have put off, like that are on my sort of creative bucket list. And they're things I want to try, things I enjoy doing. And I'm excited about trying some things. I feel like I'm in a really good place. I'm going to show y'all some stuff, and this is what I did. I know it's going to show backwards. Let me know if it's showing y'all backwards. So, coffee chat. In a world full of fish, be a shark. Here's this week. I showed y'all, I think, in the one video. That was last week. Y'all see how much? That's my inner demons. This was the other week. That's my June calendar. And that's the June hello page. Good, good, good. Now, here's July. I haven't finished with this. That one says, I hate Shark Week. And then you just this. That's all I've got for One Book July, like right there. I haven't finished. I'm working on things bit by bit. I'm going to put something in the middle here, maybe the boat from Jaws, because July is going to be sea creatures, sea animals, and then August is going to be sort of a Jaws, Shark Tales kind of theme. You unfollowed a lot of people on Instagram. I don't get on Instagram nearly as much as I should, so that probably is why Instagram doesn't bother me as much. And then this is what I have so far for August. So I'm at this, like, the octopus is wonderful. Thank you so much. From pictures. Okay, I have, it's not in here. Victor has this little book from Finding Dory, and he has one from Finding Nemo. The octopus is Hank from Finding Dory. Yeah. I still do YouTube. I took a break from it for a little while so I could kind of catch up with some things. But I plan on, my schedule for YouTube now is Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then during July, I'm going to do a vlog. I'm going to have a vlog for the 13th and the 27th. So what I've decided, so because I was getting way more into the form instead of the function of bullet journaling. So what I decided to do with that is I would make this stuff more, I would do like art, really do art for this page and like my little quote and stuff. And then if I have time, I can do a few doodles or add a few stickers, add a little bit of washi tape, but the rest of it's more function. If I have time to do some doodles, then great. If I don't, then that's okay. If I do, they'll probably be smaller. They won't be as in your face as the hello page. But I felt like I'm going to go into more detail about this when we get closer to One Book July, because this is pretty much in my sketchbook, and I'm restarting Finding Water, and I have a notebook that I've already set up for it, and that's the only thing I'm keeping, and that's because I actually do my morning pages in that journal as well. So it's not part of my planning or journaling, but I'm going to do my planning in here, and I'm going to continue to put stickers throughout the year on this. I put sunglasses on the Starbucks. And then in this, I have, this is going to be a lot of others, like everything else. So the to-do list and the weekly planning and a lot of that is in here. And then I have the, like, a collection. Let's see. I have a book list. This is where I'm at with books for my 52 books for the year. I have some notes about ocean animals. I've started. Have a brain dump in here. And then I have a page for forward planning kind of stuff. So some of the other kind of bullet journal stuff is in here. But all of my note taking and journaling and art and all of that's going to be in this one book. So I have the planner and the journal together in one. My goal. Nope, I don't know the plan for One Book July yet. They usually announce it the third week of July, give or take. So maybe the end of this week or sometime next week. They asked, Carrie Harleen did her planner online digital magazine, and she asked for people to come if anybody had any ideas for it. So I haven't heard anything about it yet. I know they're asking people for ideas for the challenge. So I don't know. I know I'm doing pretty much the one. I'm not doing one pen. I'm going to have one pen bag. No, it hasn't. I'm going to do one journal bag and pretty much one journal. The other thing that I have is just it's got morning pages in it, and I have my sketchbook, which is different. And because I actually do creative stuff here and on Patreon, I need my sketchbook. And I do have another breeze coming just in case I fill this up before the end of July. And I'm hoping, and a lot of people will go, how? What? Because it actually has like 183 pages in it. But I could very well fill that up in 1 month. Because I will be doing everything in it except the planning. But my creative process and my planning process, I do mind maps and brain dumps and stuff to hash out projects and plans and things like that. So my planning process is not just a to-do list or like the month at a glance where I put down appointments or birthdays or whenever things are due. I actually hash out my thoughts and stuff for projects or different things like that. So I do a lot of journaling. And I've had a really hard time with trying to do what writer Carol what blah, 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 what writer Carol calls rapid logging, where you do the abbreviated sentences, like a little fragment of a sentence. I'm so a run-on person. I'm like the run-on queen. And that just not is not really how my brain works. I write out things. I might abbreviate a sentence every now and again or use little abbreviations like for coffee chat, I'll put CC, but I'm not a fragment sentence person. I'm a run-on sentence person. So I don't know, but I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to do more function stuff with the bullet journal instead of so much form. That's how you ended up with two journals. One is your journal that you just write out all your thoughts, and then one is for, yeah. So I'm thinking because I have separated, I'm going to be doing the bullet journaling in the Hobonichi. I could have chosen to do the art journaling on the daily pages in the Hobonichi, but some days I will do drawing and I'll do a 2-page spread. Some days I do a 1-page spread, and I don't want to be limited to just 1 page. Whereas my to-do list and that kind of stuff is pretty much just 1 page. If I have 2 pages worth of a to-do list, then I'm in big trouble anyway. I'm way too busy and not productive enough. So that's that's my thoughts on that. I am going to be, you'll be going through another round of the artist way. I'm thinking of getting her in a goal and just can't seem to finish the artist way in morning pages. Yeah, exercises you dislike. I've already done the artist way like 3 times. So finding water is something I started and didn't finish. I started it a few years ago and didn't finish because I did it too soon after doing the artist way. And then when I started it this time, I ended up out of town with David's work, with him for work, and I forgot to bring the book. And right before that, I had gotten back on the medicine and my shoulder stuff. But if you join like my book, the group Journey with Burgess, there's a couple of people I think that are interested in doing it or have already started it. I started it and got through the introduction and week 1 and week 2. Week 3 was where I stopped. So I'm going to be redoing it for July because I thought that would be a better start than trying to start it like the 2nd week of June, the 3rd week of June. Well, technically it would have been the 10th. So I just didn't want to. So I figured since I did the blog post for week 1, I'd actually do a video and link the blog post for week 1 on YouTube. And then I'd just do a video and a blog post for week 2. So I'm actually going to restart it with week 1. You think you're in the group already? Okay. Yeah, I've been on Facebook for a while. I'm going to be doing the blog posts and videos. So, but I'm going to start it in July. I'm going to start it July 1st. I'm not doing Camp NaNoWriMo this year. I can't do that much writing by hand or on the computer. And I'm, it's okay to take a break sometimes. So I'm going to be focusing on art for July, on my journaling and planning and kind of getting back into the swing of things, and on finding water. And I'm going to be vlogging weekly for Patreon and bi-weekly for YouTube. That's what I was talking about on the 13th and the 27th. YouTube will get 2 vlogs. So I'm going to actually do a bit of vlogging about what I'm doing, like check-ins kind of thing. So I'm excited about that part. And I want to make at least 2 of my artist dates for July. You can subscribe to it. It's journeywithburgess.com. But I will also leave the link to the blog post in the community section of YouTube. That's what I did with the Finding Water of the Week 1. It's on the community post. If you're subscribed to me, you should get notifications for my community thing. But I have been remiss with the blogging, and doing Finding Water on the blog will be a good way to get me back into the habit of blogging on a weekly basis. I'm about to do a blog post for One Book July as soon as I get what the challenge is going to be for One Book July. I'm going to do a blog post for that. I think I might do a One Book July prep video about why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's kind of interesting, I think. So yeah, finding my way through my creative truths, like I talked about in the beginning of the video. It's been a struggle, you know. I think anytime you're sort of on autopilot for a little while with your creativity, or when you get in a funk, when you feel kind of blocked or whatever, some people don't believe in writer's block or artist block. I do and I don't. I think the reason that we find ourselves in a rut, in a funk, creatively speaking, for any kind of creativity, is 1, we're bored. 2, it could be 2, that there's other stuff going on underneath the surface. And a lot of times it's that stuff that's underneath the surface that is causing the rut, the block. For me, it was depression and anxiety and grief and overwhelm and stress and a lot of that kind of stuff. It was a whole lot of things all at one time. And in order to get through my dad dying, my mom almost dying and being in ICU, and how traumatic all that was. And then trying to do probate court and trying to make sure my mom was going to be okay, because they were talking about my mom going through rehab. My mom went septic and her organs were shutting down and everything. My mom had severe brain fog. She still has a little bit of that. Like she can't, like sometimes she can't think of words, and her communication skills are a little bit off since all that. Just talking, like getting the words, she would know them, but it's like when there's something on the tip of your tongue. That happens to my mom a lot. But there was just so much, and I went on autopilot so I could get through it. And then I wasn't even grieving my dad. I was so worried about my mom. And then the grief has hit me in spurts. It hasn't really been, but that's how grief is. It doesn't hit you like in one big thing. It ebbs and flows. It hits you in waves. Those 7 stages of grief, if they happened in order, it might be a little bit easier, but they don't always necessarily happen in order. So I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing a whole lot better, but it's hard. my dad was one of my best friends, and it's been difficult. So, and I think I was gonna do the watercolor. What to call it? July's, I think, watercolor month. I think it's the. I was gonna do their prompt, their challenge, June's. I haven't done one single one of them. Watercolor, I have it written down somewhere. I was gonna do it, and I haven't done one single one of them. Thanks, Gina. Um, my daughter's having a baby in August. She's gonna have my second grandchild. She's having a little girl. Victor is excited. He's gonna be a great big brother. Um, so I have like a lot of good things going on, and I'm feeling much better. My mom's gonna be here. She's gonna stay here for a week or two when my daughter has the baby. Thank you. Yeah. Um, my dad was honestly one of the best people I've ever known. Um, he was technically my stepdad. My mom got remarried. My daddy died when I was little, and my mom got remarried. My daddy died when I was 7. My mom got remarried when I was 9, and I am about to turn 52. And in October, my dad will have been gone 2 years. So, um, I always felt like I had 3 parents. Like I had 2 fathers, a daddy, and my dad. And my dad took us to my daddy's gravesite and waited by the car. And he was just the most wonderful, amazing person. And my mom would tell you that we were all blessed. That the day that my mom and my stepdad got married, my brother said, "Well, we're all getting married." And my dad said, "Yes, we are. We're all getting married." And we all got married that day. um, so, you know, it's rough. My mom's lost 2 husbands now. Me and my brother have lost 2 fathers. My kids lost the only grandfather they really have ever known. Um, so it's been, I think, rough for our whole family. But my daughter's having a new baby, and my grandson Victor is named after my dad. His middle name is James, and then Maria's naming the baby. The baby's middle name is going to be Faye, which is my mom's middle name. So that's going to be nice. Both of her kids will be named after my parents, which is really cool. So that makes me feel really good. Um, as a single parent, my parents were definitely my kids' other parent. Their dad saw them, but not nearly as much. Not nearly as much as my parents. My parents were their immediate other parents. It takes a village to raise a child, and I was very lucky to have such wonderful parents. Um, creatively speaking, one of the things I'm going to vlog about is I am about to change my filming setup. On my desk right here, I have 2 lamps in different places. I have this thing kind of like that thing back there, only it I don't know how to it's a clamp. It's got the thing, but it moves. It's kind of like how the top of that ring light is. You can kind of adjust it, move it. Unlike that one is actually, I don't know. But anyway, I'm moving all of this to the craft table right here, so that I'm gonna move the craft table a little bit this way and move the ring light this way, so that I can move the computer over to this way. And I'm actually filming on the craft table so I can have my desk back, because right now I have all this crap on my desk and I have my keyboard shoved way up here, and that gets on my nerves. I'm constantly cleaning my desk off so I can actually, and picking my keyboard up and moving it. A hinge. No, it's not a hinge. I wish I could show y'all. Let's see if I can do this with a webcam. Oh, yeah, without breaking anything. Sorry, y'all. I know I'm making you sick. All right, there is the webcam, and there is the thing that it's attached to. And I just knocked everything off. So sorry. So I'm gonna move. I might actually even move the shelf. A flexible arm. Yes. See, words. I couldn't English. I might actually even move the shelf, or I might leave the shelf up because that shelf is on the studs. It's actually screwed into the studs. I might end up putting my little pins and stuff up there, because the thing that I have that my monitor sits on, it can fit right under there, and that way my monitor can be moved up a little. I feel you about the desk thing. You're thinking about mounting your computer onto the wall so that you can craft. Yeah. I thought about moving my monitor up on that shelf. And if that shelf were just a little bit longer, I would do that. I would put my monitor right up on that shelf, but it's a 2x1. Well, it's probably only about 4 inches. And I don't know if it'll hold the monitor. I might see. But I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I like this view. So the computer will be a little bit more over, so you might actually catch a little bit more of what's behind me, because that way you can actually see the stuff that's on my shelves, and all the crap that's down there. But I know when we set it up, I had a good idea. But if my keyboard is an ergonomic keyboard, so it's rather big and it's in the way, and until I can save enough money to get my iMac and my MacBook Pro and my iPad Pro, I want to start doing some digital art so I can start making printable stickers for my patrons. And that's going to be a while because I don't have anything to draw on. And I have to learn how to do all that stuff. But that's my goal eventually, maybe by the end of this year, to get like a MacBook Pro and an iPad Pro. That's probably what I'm going to start with. So maybe for Christmas I can get one of them, and then maybe for taxes, with tax money, I can get one of the other ones. And then maybe for my birthday next year or something, I can get an iMac, or maybe for Christmas next year, not this year. I don't know. It's things I'm working on. I have like long-term goals, but I know that video editing and a lot of that kind of stuff is a whole lot easier with Apple products. And my husband would be really excited to get this computer instead of my old one, because this is a gaming computer, but it has everything for video stuff that he could do if he got the software for his music stuff. So he has all these fancy pedals that you can hook up to the computer and like all this other stuff. So eventually he will get this computer and he will be using this for his music stuff. So, it's just, it took me like 2 years before I got this one. 2.5 years. Yeah. I don't even have a fancy phone. I have a Net 10 phone that was like $60. I had a Samsung Galaxy 3. I got it, but I didn't know at the time that it was T-Mobile. And T-Mobile might work great some places, but it does not work great out here. So I felt like that commercial when the guy goes, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" Because you never could hear me. I didn't have any reception. So I'm just not a big phone person. I know that's like everybody's deal, but I'm more of a camera, and I love my cameras. And I'm more of like, I'll talk and text a little, but I hardly ever get on my phone for the internet stuff, unless I'm out of town or whatever. You know, I don't. I'm I'm usually I take my laptop with me when I go to my mom's or whatever, and I'll get on Facebook or whatever there. So I'm just not a big. See, I grew up with phones where they had busy signals and where you had to stand there with a long cord that got all twisted up to talk, and so I'm just not a big. TM Mobile doesn't work at your mom's house either. You used your iPhone to film and edit. It's really nice. That's cool. Yeah, my son was telling me, he's like, Mom, you could bypass all that if you would just get a really nice phone. I'm like, I don't like touchscreen. So the thought of video editing on that little phone, even the iPhones I've seen, even the bigger Samsung phones I've seen that look like a tablet, the idea of using my finger to do video editing when I have enough trouble using the mouse to edit videos. The thought of using my finger with that touch screen to edit videos when I have trouble just texting with a touch screen with my finger. Just and I know they have the little pen things that you can use, a little stylus. I'm so old school, y'all. So old school. I need to really get more modern, but doing the computer stuff and the tablet stuff, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, I need to get more tech swabby. So anybody got any questions? Sorry I couldn't answer your questions about One Book July. Y'all need to ask Carrie or Ro or Miss B. Ro is actually probably the person. You use your finger. Then again, you also draw on the phone too. One day you hope to get a pencil. That'd be cool. They have some inexpensive pencils. Hey, Tamara. They have some inexpensive pencils that you can use for the iPad or the iPhones. I can't remember. I don't know if Ro was talking about it or somebody was talking about it, but you can find them pretty decent. I see, I don't use them, but I know I've heard people talking about them and I've been taking notes because one day I will switch all of my stuff. I will no longer be a PC user. One day I will switch all to Apple. Oh, it would be so nice. So, anybody got any questions? I mean, not that I'm trying to get off of here anytime like super soon, since all I have to do is housework. But I do have some journaling to do. I'm going to be watching some documentaries about animals in the ocean on Amazon Prime. I'm really excited because I love documentaries. Um, and I'm going to be watching some Amazon Prime and doing some journaling and taking some notes. They've got one about jellyfish, and I want to learn how to draw a jellyfish. They got one about others, like some fish and some whales. I'm thinking about drawing some whales. Just hanging out. So yeah. So instead of Camp NaNoWriMo this year, I'm going to try to sketch daily. I'm going to be doing Finding Water. I'm going to try to vlog, but I'm not doing daily vlogs. I'm doing weekly vlogs. And then I'm journaling, One Book July, the sketching, some plein air sketching. I might try the World Watercolor Month, the Doodle Wash. It's the Doodle Wash. Challenge for July. You joined late, but you're just wondering if you have already updated us about your wrist or doing. Okay. Let me get a sip of coffee. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and regular arthritis. I'm wearing the wrist things at night. Earlier today, I was finishing the last bit of edits for a coffee chat for Patreon, and my hand kept going numb and tingling and hurting. It's really hard to use the mouse with that thing on my hand. It's my right one more than my left one, but they both do, and I'm still wearing the things at night. In order for me to wear them, I have to take all the bracelets and the watch off. Um, I actually quit using the Fitbit for now because I can't wear the Fitbit at night. So it doesn't track my sleep or any of that at night because I can't wear it because I have to wear the wristband. And taking the Fitbit on and off is, I mean, it messes all up how it tracks everything when you do that. So I was like, forget it. I'll just not wear the Fitbit for a little while until hopefully my hands are better. I don't know that they'll ever completely get better because it's not just the carpal tunnel, it's the arthritis. But I will say that when I take breaks from doing what I'm doing and I put the wrist things on, or some of the things that I can do with the wrist thing on, I feel a lot better. So the wrist things are helping. They're uncomfortable, but they're helping. My father-in-law just got me and David some black seed oil, and the vitamins. And I put the black seed oil on my hands and on my neck and shoulders. It really helped my neck and shoulders because I have regular arthritis in my in the one part of my neck, and then I have the rheumatoid arthritis in the other part on the neck and shoulders. So it helped my hands feel a little bit better, but it really helped my neck and shoulders loosen up. It helped the inflammation, which is what it's supposed to be really good for all different kinds of things. It actually will help your blood pressure. But if you take medicine for things like blood pressure, whatever, you need to be careful about taking that. You have to wear braces on your hand and arm every night. Yeah. So that is actually really helping my neck and shoulders. And I'm hoping that maybe taking the pills will help some of the inflammation in my hands. When they gave me that steroid shot and the steroid pills that I took for like 4 days or 5 days, it actually helped my hands quite a bit. It loosened up the inflammation in them, but it didn't make that numbness and tingling thing go away. But it did help with some of the inflammation. So I think the inflammation is the arthritis. Is partly a good part of it's the arthritis, which I think is making the carpal tunnel worse. Although it could be the carpal tunnel making the arthritis worse. I don't know, but they're better. And the black seed, I won't keep wanting to call it grape seed. The black seed stuff stinks. The oil stinks, but it really works. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I can mix it with some rose oil. I don't know. Make it smell a little better, but it works. So I'm going to keep doing the black seed oil. I don't know that I'll be doing it daily. But I might do it. Probably will definitely do it when we get the rainy weather. And I think we're about to get some more rain. So I'm feeling better. I'm still having the numbness and stuff. I went to the doctor today and I've lost both. I have the blood. I don't know about the oil, if you can swallow the oil, but I'm putting the oil. I have the pills to take and the oil to put on. I don't know if the oil is something that I can actually physically, if I, take. I don't know. I'd have to read the thing. But he got that for David for Father's Day for us to try. So I was like, cool. David has psoriasis, and hopefully it will help that. And it's also supposed to help with stomach issues, immune issues, diabetes type 2, I think, and high blood pressure and all different kinds of things. So if it'll help my high blood pressure, my cholesterol, and my inflammation in my joints from the arthritis, hey, I'll be good. I'll be happy. I know it already helped my neck and shoulders. And I've lost a total of 13 and a half, almost 14 pounds. So I still have a lot to go. But he told me I should have lost at least 15 or 16 pounds. And I'm like, hey, I did good. I'm still changing habits. I'm still working on, you know, forming better habits. I'm still making healthier choices each time I choose something. I'm making a healthier choice. I do have like the one. I have the one to go coffee cup, and sometimes I'll put water in it, and I'll drink it. I'll drink out of it like it's the coffee cup, but it's water in it, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. They had a coffee flavored water. I have I drink sometimes I drink the vitamin water zeros, and those are really good. They don't have any added sugar or anything like that in them. So, but that's it, y'all. I've been on here for over an hour, and I'm feeling way better. Um, um, I enjoyed this coffee chat. Um, I am back into my journal, um, preparing for One Book July, waiting to find out what the new challenge is because I'm actually kind of doing some of the challenges. My go big or go home is reducing my journal supplies down to a bag and a pen case. I would do the one pen, but I have to have watercolor and have to have some of the other stuff because I don't just do journaling and planning. I actually do some of the stuff for my job. So that won't really work for me. But I thought, hey, why not reduce it down to a bag? I'm streamlining and choosing the pens, y'all. You know, so that's been a little bit. I'm still kind of going through some things. I'm going to be doing just one water palette. I'm putting my other water palettes to the side. I'm going to be cleaning up the craft table and the desk and vlogging it and like moving that stuff around for a better filming setup. I need to go through the pile of crap that I just pulled out, some of the older journals and planners, and figure out whether those are things I'm going to keep and box up or if they're things that I'm going to be getting rid of. The journals I will be keeping, some of the old planners, I doubt very seriously I'm going to be keeping them. One of them is that, oh, what's her name? Leonie Dawson? I doubt very seriously. I've cut out a lot of the stuff that was in that planner and used it for like journal fodder. And I think I've pretty much taken everything I can take out of it now. So it's going to be going to the trash. Just kind of going through stuff, cleaning up stuff and stuff like that. I do have a review to do of the Clever Fox budget planner and the Clever Fox dot grid notebook. I have just got them today, and I was interested in the budget planner because that's something I actually plan on using after One Book July. So I'm excited about that. That's something they sent me an email and they sent those to me. And she asked me, and I said, well, I want to get something that I'll actually use. And I've heard a lot of good things about your product. And this is what I would actually use. I would actually use a dot grid notebook, and I really am interested in the budget planner. So I'm actually excited about that because I am not doing any reviews, no matter who sends me an email or who requests or whatever, unless it's something I will actually use. And I have been wondering about how Clever Fox's journals are. So this is really good. Budget planner. I'm really excited about seeing what it is and how, because I'm going to actually start using it in August. So I'm going to do the review, and then I will do a update like sometime in August once I start using it. So I'm excited, and I'm probably going to be doing the dot grid notebook, using it um, after July is over. Um, I can always use a blank notebook. Uh, so I don't know. It might end up being a morning pages notebook, or it might be an idea notebook, or it might be a book review notebook where I write down bits about books and videos and product reviews or whatever. I don't know. I think some of this stuff that I put in my journal could actually be put somewhere else and be put to good use. You can't wait to see. Yeah, I'm excited. They didn't have a red. So this is the budget planner. They both came with stickers. This is the budget planner. And it's lightweight, y'all. It's really lightweight. And then this is the dotted notebook. This is an A5. And their dotted notebook is a tad bit smaller than an A5. Now I want to give away with Eclectic Scribbles, and she has her own journals that are supposed to have the same paper as the Archer and Olive. And I am supposed to be getting one of her journals that she's got. She has them in her shop now, and I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm going to be doing a review of her notebook once I get it in, because I won her giveaway. I think she had 2 winners. So, yeah. But I'm excited. I like the way that this looks. It feels kind of rubbery, but they're really light. And so yeah, and they both came with stickers. I don't know if they're stickers I'm going to use. But I'm excited about it. So, it comes with a warranty card, 60-day money-back guarantee, no hassle refund. Oh, now I will use their stickers. No reds. They don't have red yet. I will use these budget stickers. Those are actually really cute. And they come with a pin loop. I like that they come with a pin loop. I really like that they come with a pin loop. Yeah, I was disappointed they didn't have a red. But I thought green, I didn't like the green. It was like a lime green, but I like the turquoise for the budget planner. And then the purple because I can always use a personal notebook. And I like dot grid. So I could use it for morning pages. I could use it for notes, for video ideas, for all different kinds of things, because I can always use a notebook. So what I like about that would actually fit in my folio. So, but yeah, I was disappointed no red. So, well, y'all have a good one. I do like these colors. Me too. I do like these colors. I probably would have chosen red over the purple. I love purple too, but I would have chosen the turquoise and the red, which would have matched my room. Y'all have a good one. I will see y'all later. And hopefully I will have the review of these up Thursday. So I can either do the review of those Thursday, or I might do the review of these. Maybe I'll do the review of these for Sunday. And then I'm going to do a journal or something video for Thursday. Maybe a journal with me, or a watercolor with me, or a journal flip or something. I don't know. We'll see. Something. And I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all. Thanks for being here. I really enjoyed it.